Hi, good people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. How are you all doing? Today, I just did few episodes, like three episodes the whole day, three reviews, one, like those kind of fragrance related topic. But this last episode, I wanted to do like a list or something fun, but I changed my mind. I want to talk about something that's inside of me, like I've been thinking of it for some time. I'll talk about people, betrayal, how people backstab you, and not just negativity. I will also talk about how I dealt with it or how I'm learning. So just sharing some experience. I'm not going for a destination, it's just a discussion. Hope you can relate and hope I can make some sense as well. I can help you out so you can avoid this kind of people in future. um, I'm not talking about in particular people here. I'm gonna give example, but no names. From my real life, some encounters. Sometimes you are not perfect. When to judge others, you have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you can share your experience, right? Hopefully, you're doing good. It's around 3:15 here, and I'm wearing this one. Just one spray of Replica Jazz Club. I recently got it. I also had By the Fireplace, which is a masterpiece. I also love the fragrance called Lipstick On. Some great fragrance in the house: Under the Lemon Trees, Beach Walk, Flower Market, and stuff like that. Whispers in Library, what else? Sailing Day. There is some great fragrance, but not everything stands out, right? It's a nice perfume. This one is a sweet booziness, and it has this great performance, warm fragrance basically. But since my room is AC, so air conditioned, so this one is really good. So now let's talk about people. Let's not talk about fragrances. Um, Let me talk about certain class of people. I don't know if you're familiar with this kind of people, but there's a certain group of people. No matter how much you love them, no matter how much you support them, no matter how much you think of them as a friend, they always see you as an opportunity to do business, go up in life, or just to use you for their advantage, or just, like playing with you until they get their revenge. They have multiple motivation or, you know, plot in their head. Like perhaps they don't like you, but they pretend they are like your best friend, you are their best friend, and you guys are bosom buddies. So in the end, if you stay with a person for some time, and if you really like your conscience open and you're not a blind person, you'll start seeing things, how people can change, how people can change their tone, how people can treat you differently over the time. There's a lot of nice people in this world, and they are being abused or misused. And when they are misused, the people who misuse them or do wrong to them, they are the one who scream the most. This is the sad part. This is the reality. People who are oppressors, people who are criminals, they have the biggest voice. And people are nice people who are victimized or something, they cannot talk, because nowadays, if you speak the truth, you'll suffer. You'll be the criminal. And I'm just saying this from emotional side, but these are practically true. You cannot speak up nowadays. Everything is just so poetically correct has to be. You cannot speak your mind, right? I'm not saying everything is for bad purpose, but I think this is one thing we have really like fallen behind. Nowadays nobody can speak their heart. Everything has to be diplomatically correct. And what does it mean diplomatically correct? You're supposed to do the right thing, but at times people take advantage of it. You're being diplomatically correct, you are being the victim. Let's say you are giving an example. You are a house owner, right? You scare the house, and suddenly at some point some robbers decide to rob you, and then they come and then they stab you, or they fear, like scare you with their guns, and they threaten you to kill you. And then for like they're gonna kill you, like they're gonna hurt you, shoot you after they take your valuables. But then to save yourself, you kill one of the robbers. What's gonna happen? You're gonna be the victim. So this is kind of like, I'm not saying I'm not supporting violence, but sometimes to save yourself, that's the most important thing. How do you protect yourself? Because people, you'll notice, nobody does anything for you unless you're super lucky, or you have someone special in life, or you have good friends. Most of the people will be around you when you're happening, when you are kind of like well known, when you are doing good in your life. You'll see friends all the time around you. They all around, they're well wishers, they are bringing you gifts. They just, at times they are just like, saying a lot of, let's take a selfie, let's post it, hey, this is my bro. And imagine you, same you have some let's say a financial problem, or you have some health issue, or you're having, let's say, disease. That time, the only people who are around you, they are the real friends. You guys know this. So nowadays, I notice many people, they are just so desperate for company. They're very lonely. And I'm doing this fragrance game. I can relate it because I work with myself, my depression, and I notice a lot of things. I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff. I'm going here and there, but I will just speak my heart. But I notice many people are very lonely. I notice some people in Bangladesh. I've seen them, good people, come from very rich families, well off. They have everything, but they are not happy in their lives. And then they give away their fragrances for very cheap. They buy a lot of stuff just to be happy. Every day they're doing something and they're posting, send out that they're very nice people. But some of the other people around them are not so nice. These people are around these particular nice people to take advantage. Like, let's say, for their bottles. Let's say I have perfumes, I want to sell it off for cheap. That's the only reason my friends are with me, to get that advantage. So, how do you see that? I know many people will say, hey, sometimes it's about give and take, right? But not always. From my personal life, coming back to that stuff I was talking about, betrayal or being backstabbed, as far as I remember, in my personal life, I can just tell you with 100% of my, promise, I never really hurt people intentionally. I only got mad. Sometimes I took revenge on people who broke my heart, or let's say they did something bad to me, but in right mind, I believe I'm a good person. This is why I do this. I believe in good stuff. Of course, obviously, everybody has some bad sides. I also have that. But in my right mind, I never ever hurt someone who's a good person, okay, or who didn't do anything to me, okay. There are a lot of people out there who would actually do these things, believe it or not. They don't even know the person. They kick them. Let's say homeless person or a stray dog. Some people are mean to them. If they see a cat, they take a piece of rock and throw it that. Throw at that. There are people like that, right? People can be very heartless. They can be absolutely non-human being, and they can absolutely forget what you did for them. If you have their back, and the very people who you supported, who you helped grow once, they are the one who stab you the most. There's a saying called betrayal never comes from enemies or strangers. It comes from always friends, because they are the one who had your trust and betrayed you, right? So it's not a serious thing, but I noticed, I got used to it. Many people backstab me. I didn't understand. I used to get very upset. In my groups, when I started off, I was very happy. The community started in Bangladesh, fragrance community, and until now, whatever happened, I witnessed a lot of things. I have lost friends, I have lost groups, I have lost a lot of things, trust. Um, you know, it's, we also lost people who are my friends, through death. Some of my best friends, passed away from this community, and I still have some great friends. Just give me a second, please. So yeah, sorry, I had to drink some water. I think I ate some fast food late night, so my mouth is drying up a little bit. So anyway, what I was saying is, I have witnessed people being very low. I have witnessed people who lie. Randomly, I would say, top of my head, I used to trust a lot of people. I used to have a lot of friends, and I used to count on them, depend on them like my brothers and sisters. But then sometimes you notice you said something very personal or shared a personal, very private story with someone, let's say your sadness or something of your very personal story, and no one else knows that. Next day, you understand someone else is talking about that, about you, and then how did it get transmitted? Through humans, right? So sometimes I feel COVID is just nothing. It's like a blessing sometimes, perhaps. I'm saying it, I'm sorry, it's a negative thing to say, but there are much worse things than ferocious animals or sharks or lions or tigers who eat human beings. They do it for survival. We do it for entertainment. We hunt down innocent animals for fun, for trophy. We do that. We are humans, right? We deforest, we cut down the mountains, we do a lot of awful things, which is why we're having a lot of problems in the world, like the world is polluted and all that. So coming back to my small world, I don't know if you went through this. I have become very angry, and then sometimes I lose it. I think I have anger management issues, which I obviously don't show here, but on the streets I have street road rage. I sometimes flip people off, or sometimes yell at them or about to fight with them. Why? Sometimes, just people don't have manners. And there's been a talk about this, why people are angry inside, because they consume everything. I just saw that one video regarding this, that some human beings, they cannot let go of things. They cannot see past, or they do not know what's best for them. Sometimes they get so engaged, and then enraged later that whatever is going on wrong in the world, collectively it makes people upset, and this is how slowly they start losing their sanity. I think that's the word, right? And people just go crazy, and then just ludicrous on the road. And you see a lot of good people, they are upset when their country is full of corruption, or you see a lot of wrongdoings, murders, people are being robbed, and nothing actually happens to the criminals. Slowly frustration builds up, and what happens later, there will be an outburst. And when you have an outburst, it's not going to have anything good, because when you are angry and you do an action, it never yields anything good, right? So going back to people, how over the years I've been backstabbed, or I left people, had to leave people behind. I actually sort of kicked many people out of my life because they are being very toxic, or they're using me. And I remember a lot of these people, I used to go to their shops because of my passion. I didn't understand that I shouldn't have done anything for free. I used to go to visit shops, do videos, promote a shop or a couple of shops. And when they became popular, when they had money, they never did anything for me. And I wouldn't say I did anything for money or anything benefits, but it would be nice if people appreciate it. So there's a certain class of people who know they're using you, and they pretend like they're your friends, but when their achievement goal is achieved, they look past you. They never give you credit. This thing is a very sensitive area. Perhaps they don't owe you anything, but at the same time, perhaps they do. If someone ever did me a favor, and I can tell this, I will always be indebted to that person. Give you an example. When I started my page, you guys know monetization is just a recent thing. I used to earn just from my Decant page very small amount of money, okay? And my expenditure amount of perfumes I bought, those earnings were not enough. I even bought on credit. I went into debt. There's a video of me that Mark did, talked about me, depression and then addiction, on his channel Rob08. Go and check it out. 100% stress or obsession or addiction, joy, something like that. So many people talked about me. So I got into trouble, and last few months back, or a couple of months back, I paid everybody's debts off, like all the sellers. I don't owe them any more money. So it is a great thing. I feel so much at peace. I can sleep. I made mistake myself. Sometimes I got greedy. Sometimes, you have to admit it. Sometimes you are not 100% correct, or you're not even right. Sometimes you're wrong. So I have made mistakes, but at the same times, intentionally, I never really used someone like, and then, many people may disagree, but I always wanted something best for the community. But what I noticed, after a while, I introduce a person, let's say, to a shop. He never knew anything about perfumes. After 2 days, that person becomes best friend with the shop. He forgets me. He tells me later, brother, you should come to this shop and buy. I know, bro, because I'm the one who took you to that shop. I'm the one who took you to that person. So that my friends become best friends with certain people. Why? Well, I cannot be, and they don't remember me. And I don't see any fault of me. There are certain people who always also hated me. Since I started my journey, I didn't understand why this certain class, they hate me. They have so much more money. They have great collection. Some of them don't have collection, but they had a group. I was like, why these people are always talking bad behind me? And then it hit me. It really hit me. There will always be two sides of the story. Some happy days, some gloomy days, and there are always going to be good people and bad people. You should always try to focus on positivity, productivity, and understand the value of time. Your life is tick tock. Like every day I wake up, I say thank God. Sometimes I think of death. What's going to happen if I don't wake up? And death is a scary thing to think of. Those who only die, they know what they go through. But death is imminent, isn't it? The word, right? That everybody has to die, and we all have to die. It's all up to God. But when I think of these things, the one big crime I really feel you can do to yourself, or people can do to you, is when they waste your time and they take advantage of you. Well, you are good at something, they used you, okay, and they took what they required, perhaps the customer base or the trust or the reputation in the community. When you introduce someone, maybe at the time they were not that big, but in time they did get big, but you remained where you were. But lucky for me that, I got so much more in my life from God and people, a lot of kind-hearted people in my life. But I'll tell you one last advice. After all these things that I shared with you, I shared a very small part of my life without any names. There are some people always going to be like this, but if you feel people are harming you or taking so much more and doing nothing for you, slowly start cutting cutting it out. Like you have to start being vocal. You have to start moving away from negative people who drain you, who make you feel worse. Sometimes people can make you feel great, some people make you feel low, and you always see like you are trying to move forward, trying to do some good work, good deed, and then some landmark stuff, and people just constantly pull you back, try to waste your time, to demotivate you, derail you from your path. I don't know exactly what's my goal, but I always followed my passion. This is why I do Perfume game. This is my life. This is sort of like I take my work as my religion. I have to be sincere at it. I always, after I upload, I will see if I have any orders, I'll process it, I'll write down, and I always talk to people. So I am very true to my work. Many people are not that true. People want to be rich in shortcut, and they pretend that they're really good friends, but not everybody will be a friend. Okay, so give time, observe people, use so much more of this and less of that to survive in this world, right? And don't let people waste your time. Okay, if people want something, make sure you make them pay. If they take something for you, nothing is for free, right? This is the one advice I'll give you. Perhaps I'm not 100% right. I'm not talking from a religious point of view. I'm just saying nowadays a lot of backstabbers are there who you helped, they betray you. So be careful from these kind of people, so you can save yourself a lot of trouble, and you can also be saving your life. You never know. So focus on the people who you think are there for your bad times. Those are your real friends. Take care. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.